Hello, my name is Dr. Rhonda M. Wood, and I am here at the Leadership Experience Tour in Detroit, Michigan. I am so excited because I have the honor and the pleasure of introducing today's guest. Her name is Latria Rush, and she is here from Wilmington, North Carolina. Latria, thank you so much for being with us today.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, we are having we had an amazing chat before, and I know you're excited about taking the stage tomorrow, but before we jump into that, can you tell the audience a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do?
Okay, well, as she said so eloquently, my name is Latria Rush. I am a disability empowerment coach where I empower, motivate, and encourage people with disabilities to live above the limits of society. I also work with parents of children who have disabilities, helping in terms of independent skills, helping with coping with your child having a disability. A lot of parents, when they first find out their child has a disability, they have no idea of where to turn or what to do or what resources are out there or anything of that nature. So I help walk them through that process of finding different resources, behavioral things going on. I've also was a teacher at one point, so I've taught various types of children with various disabilities as well. So I help with behavioral issues. I help with self-care. A lot of times us women, we forget to take care of ourselves, especially if we have a child that happens to have a special need or a challenge. We often put ourselves on the back burner. So the importance of understanding what self-care really is and investing in self-care. Let's see what else. I think that's it.
Wow, that's a lot. And thank you so much for the great work that you do. I think it's so important. I think a lot of people can relate to that as well. I know that you're excited about taking the stage tomorrow. So can you tell us just a little bit about what your presentation will be about?
My presentation is going to be about removing the emotional barriers of life. And what I find is it's based off of experience. And my personal experience, not only my personal experience, but experiences of others. Sometimes we get to a place in our life where we're not excelling the way that we used to, where we're not moving the way that we used to, where we're not going to whatever that next level is for whatever reason, and we find ourselves stuck and stagnant, and we don't understand why. Well, a lot of times we're stuck in certain places because we have barriers that we have not, one, have not discovered, and two, have not removed out of our way. And a lot of times when people hear the term barrier, the first thing they think about, is something physical, where it can be physical, but barriers are also emotional, psychological, spiritual, social. So barriers could be a number of different things. So the key is to be able to recognize when something is a barrier, and I'm also going to show you how to move those barriers out of your way to excel to whatever that next level that God has prepared for you.
That is so powerful. Okay, so I know in addition to your speaker topic tomorrow, and by the way, folks, she was personally invited back. She's been on the tour before. She was personally invited back, and she is actually kicking off the tour tomorrow, so you don't want to miss her presentation. I heard it is phenomenal. She's going to set the stage on fire. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, Latria, let's talk about your book.
Yes. My book is called, this is actually the second one I wrote. It's called Intimate Conversations with God. And it's based off of conversations that I've had with my Sunday school class about prayer. And they always ask me, I'll ask them to pray before we get started with class. And they'll be like, well, Ms. Latria, I don't know how to pray. I don't know what I'm supposed to say when I pray. How do I pray? And I explain to them, prayer is just a conversation with God. It's just talking to God like I was talking to her, or like you're talking to your mom or dad or what have you. It's just a conversation which builds a relationship with God. So that's where this book came from. It also came from a time in my life where I was going through a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression.
Wow.
I was suicidal. I was going through a lot of different things in my life, and I didn't know where else to turn to. I didn't have anybody else to turn to. but God. So the only thing I knew to do was write. So I started writing my prayers to God. Now, let me tell you something. That was not supposed to be a book. Okay. It was actually a journal, and I still have the journal at home. It's just a journal of me just journaling to God every day. For like maybe 2-3 years, I was journaling to God, journaling to God, journaling to God. And then one day, after 2 years, God was like, okay, so yeah, we're going to take this and we're going to turn it into a book. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Wow.
But God showed me that the prayers that I prayed in that book had nothing to do with me. And if one thing I want people to understand and know is that nothing that you go through has anything to do with you.
Wow,
It
that's
has
true.
everything to do with the person that's coming behind you.
Wow.
You can't, the people cannot get to their purpose if you don't get to yours. People are not going to be able to achieve what they need to achieve until you achieve what you need to achieve. So this book is just basically me being obedient and doing what I need, doing what God has told me to do, so somebody else can come behind me and be obedient and do what God has told them to do.
Wow. Okay, I already know. Don't worry, folks, I got you. I know people are going to ask me, so where can they get the book? Because I know a lot of people can relate to a lot of the things that you talked about. So,
Well, if you are here, I have them on hand here. You can get them off of Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.coachlatria.net, and fill out an order form, and I will get you one. It also comes with a journal as well.
okay, excellent. Okay, Latria, you're a dynamic speaker. You're an incredible author. You're also a coach, and you have a coaching program. Do you want to tell
I
our
do. I have a
audience a little
coaching
about
program that I'm just getting ready to introduce, and it's based off of my speech for tomorrow. It's called Bruised But Not Broken, Removing the Emotional Barriers of Life. And it's a 6-week program, and it takes you through first, what is a barrier? And then outlining 4 basic barriers that we all have to deal with at some point in our life. And then I'm going to give you steps and techniques on how to remove those barriers from your life.
I love it. Okay, now see, you got the audience all in love with you and everything. So tell us once again, because I know everybody's going to want to know, how can they get in contact with you? How can they connect with you? How can they work with you?
Okay, well, I am on all social media platforms as Coach Latria. My personal Facebook page is Latria Anita Russ. My speaker page is Speaker Latria. My email is coachlatria@gmail.com, and my website is www.coachlatria.net.
Excellent. Latria, thank you so much for being with us
Well, thank
today.
you.
Have given us just so much here already. I know people are like, man, if she gave this here, I better not miss her presentation tomorrow. And folks, listen, you better tune in tomorrow, June 4th, the Leadership Experience Tour. You don't want to miss it. You'll be able to
don't.
hear from Latria and about 40 other dynamic speakers from around the world. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.